And welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review. Now, I know him as Joker Wolf, but you guys know him as Joker the Gray from Domino Squad Legends. What's happening, Domino Squad Legends? Now, Joker Wolf or Joker the Gray is a Kraken. He has played less than 6 months, and he is crushing it and dominating in the arena. So really, his arena team on both, he's got every ship and every character that's current meta, and he's doing a phenomenal job. Didn't really ask about arena at all. In fact, really his primary focus right now is the Sith raid. So we're going to go into the Sith raid, but he said, is there any other alternative characters I should be thinking about for arena? And that brought me to a couple of thoughts. The first is make sure that you finish the characters you have in your arena team, get them to gear 12. That's nothing new. I think everybody would tell you that, and you would probably do that without me saying anything. But remember to continue to buy mods whenever possible out of the mod store to continue developing or improving it. Now, I am going to suggest you only buy gold, and you only buy if it shows a 5 or a 6. The reason for that is statistically, you'll get 4 rolls with one of them statistically hitting on speed. Now, I know a lot of people saying, that never happens. I never get my speed to roll. About half the time, speed will roll, half the time it won't, but you get 4 whacks at it rolling. And when it rolls, when it shows 5 or 6, you're going to end up getting 5 or 6 in that roll. So you're pretty much almost guaranteed a plus 10 speed mod. And you don't want to spend crystals on something that's green or blue to find out it didn't roll, and now you have a 6 speed mod. So really, you want to minimize the amount of possibility of the mod being junk and only buy those gold 5-dot mods that have a 5 or a 6 a speed secondary showing, and then just keep your eye out on that. You could also continue to Zeta the uniques. All of your characters have uniques: Emperor Palpatine, Darth Nihilus, Thrawn, Darth Vader. These are all uniques you could focus on. But the one that I really recommend for this team, I highly recommend it for this team, is Darth Nihilus's unique. It is like purchasing speed for the whole team. So I highly recommend that you do this. And if you have an opportunity, plus with Scion and Darth Nihilus, those two characters go hand in hand. So his unique is going to help you in the long term of the game in the future meta. Now, with that said, there are some characters you should be focused on regardless of the meta. And some of those characters are right in here, obviously. Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of those characters I hope that you continue to develop. BB-8 is at gear 9. I highly hope you continue to develop your BB-8. Obviously, R2-D2, I hope you continue to develop him, as he's one of the best characters in the game. You spent the money on Visa Smart to get her 7 stars, so don't stop there. Obviously, she's one of the best, if not the best healers in the game. She's really amazing, so I would continue to gear up Visa Smart. Obviously, Commander Luke Skywalker, one of the top 10 best characters in the game. Continue to develop him. He's at gear 7. Keep going with him. And Rex is still one of the all-time best leaders of the game, has withstood the test of time. I know you've only played for about 4 months, but this guy will come and go in every single meta, every single time. You've got him 4 stars, gear 1. He has a really cool ship, and with ships on the horizon changing, I would highly recommend you get him up for arena and for ships. So anyway, I would again suggest Rex. I would again suggest that you focus on all the overpowered characters like R2-D2, Thrawn, BB-8, Visa Smart, CLS, Rex, Darth Nihilus. These are all characters that are going to help you for the next 2 to 3 years in the game. They're the most overpowered characters in the game, so definitely focus on those 7 characters so you have more viability in arena. Now let's go ahead and move over to the Sith raid. Now, of course, you already know Resistance is the team to go. In fact, you said I've got P1 kind of figured out. I got Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2-D2, and I've got Rey Scavenger and Finn right now, but you can probably put in the Trooper. But I have suggested this with other people. You're a Kraken, and so because of that, I would actually recommend you highly focus on one character in this set, and that is Holdo. Get her stars, get her shards for her stars out of the shipments and purchase her up as fast as possible for this team. She gives out foresight, regenerates health and protection, cleanses the team. She's everything you need in this team to make it longer lasting, more durable, and be able to do more damage over the duration. So I would highly recommend taking Holdo from gear 1 2-star all the way up to gear 12 7-star. And since you're a Kraken, you can make this happen. I wouldn't suggest this to other people if they weren't a Kraken, but because of that, I highly recommend that. So that's the team that I would suggest. You also have Visa Smart, and she's one of the 7 overpowered characters I suggested you work on. You could use her as well. That's a path of least resistance, and you could ignore Holdo, but I'm telling you, Holdo's really going to be the long-term solution for this resistance team to really pop in phase 1. Now for phase 2, I would actually suggest your the Empire Sith kind of combination. I'd actually suggest your literal arena team. So when we look at your arena team, that is the team that I would highly suggest right there. Just keep developing them. This is the team that I would suggest in phase 2. Now, the number 1 team I would actually suggest you focus on, because your phase 1 Jedi Training Array is basically done. Your phase 2 Empire team is basically done. But phase 3 is one of the largest damage dealing phases you can get. The Chex Mix is really the way to go. And you are missing a whole bunch of stuff here, okay? So the first thing is your CLS. Your Commander Luke Skywalker is one of those 7 I recommended you focus on gearing, and he's going to help you in the Chex Mix. He's the leader, so you definitely want to focus on him. Next is going to be Chirrut. Now you have him 6 stars, gear 6. You definitely want to get him up. Now this is why he's important in Chex Mix. CLS is the leader. He's going to provide a bunch of leader benefits, but Chirrut is a cleanser to make sure that everybody has that cleansing and the tenacity up, if possible, to the tenacity up, but the cleansing. So Chirrut's going to kind of keep you clean. And he's also an attacker, and he has easy ability to get high offense, and you want to share the offense in Chex Mix. And then the other one is Han Solo. Now, I know that your Han Solo is 5 stars, gear 5, and you can't do anything about that. It's just time. You're going to get the other 2 stars over time. And so I'll give you a phase 3 team to play now, but I'm just telling you who you should have in the phase 3 Chex team if you don't already know. So you should have him in your favorites, and you should be gearing Han Solo, even though he's only 5 stars. And then, of course, Death Trooper and Death Trooper 7 stars, you can use them immediately. And this leads me to actually the phase 3 team that I would recommend you run in the meantime until your Chex Mix is ready, because CLS isn't ready, Chirrut isn't ready, Han isn't ready. I would recommend you run the Imperial Troopers. Now, if you're going to run the Imperial Troopers, the biggest and most viable way for this team to work is to get Aggressive Tactician Zeta'd. So you definitely want to go ahead and Zeta the unique of General Veers. This is one of the top 10 Zetas in the game, in my opinion. And so definitely focus on that. But this team, you've got the top row. They're all really, really great. This is going to be a team, other than gear, this is going to be a team you can take into phase 3 today and get some damage for. You might be able to get a single topple and do, 5 to 800,000. So the goal here is to just try and be able to apply damage on the board in the meantime until you get your Chex Mix. And the last character for Chex Mix is actually going to be Jedi Knight Anakin. You got him 7 stars, so he's now available. And I know his mods are not good, and his abilities aren't leveled up, and you only have him at gear 4, gear 5. But you don't have POW even in the game, ready to go. And Jedi Knight Anakin is already ready to go, except for some gear. He's a pretty easy gear up to about gear 9, so you could get him ready really quick. And so he's at least the path of least resistance for the Chex Mix, and it gives him viability, usability somewhere in the game. But again, POW would be better, but if you want the path of least resistance, Jedi Knight Anakin is going to be the way to go. So Chex Mix is CLS, Chirrut, Han, Death Trooper, and Jedi Knight Anakin. In the meantime, while you're focused on that team, your Imperial Troopers, you could also be gearing up and using them now in phase 3. And for phase 4, that's right, Night Sisters. Now, phase 4 is really the phase where you take and you throw everything but the kitchen sink kind of thing, right? You throw, First Order teams and Phoenix squads and, random Rebel squads and just everything you have. But the team that I've really seen do the most amount of damage, about 3 million in phase, and I've seen higher scores than some lower ones, but a team that does really, really phenomenal is your Night Sisters. And your Night Sisters, yikes, they're not ready. So like I said, First Order, Phoenix, those are all teams you have ready. You could throw First Order at phase 4, Phoenix at phase 4 today. And so that's the 2 teams I would use on phase 4. But Night Sisters is a forward focus. It's something you're going to want to develop at some point. And so this is going to be your phase 4 focus. You're a Kraken, so I don't know how you're going to figure out, who you're focusing on first, but I would really max out your phase 1 team first. That's the most damage dealing team. 2, I would focus then on the checks team that for phase 3 that I suggested. 3, I would then focus on phase 4 Night Sisters, because your phase 2 Empire team is really your arena team and they're pretty much ready to go. Always work on your arena on the side and gear those characters that are totally overpowered, like R2D2 Thrawn, BB-8 Visas Mars, CLS Rex, Darth Nihilus. Those characters will help you to the moon and back. But phase 4 Night Sisters, these guys are going to help you, as does all of these teams I've suggested, going to help you in territory battles, territory wars, so you can help the team out in other facets of the game, not just for yourself in the Sith raid or for the team in the Sith raid, but for yourself and for the team in all the other phases of the game. Joker the Gray or Joker Wolf, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If anyone has any suggestions for Joker, leave them in the comments down below, and keep your gaming on. Warrior out.